Hi guys, welcome back to the Holy Shiftball podcast. We're a show where we raise your frequency one cosmic giggle at a time. I'm Bethany, your energetic bestie, alongside my fabulous, my wonderful co-host Sharon. Hey Sharon.
Hey Bethany, how are you?
Girl, if I was any better, I'd be a twin.
I love that. Welcome to our favorite day of the week. We absolutely love doing this show, and we're happy to be here with you guys and spending some time having people share some wisdom. So Bethany, how was your week and what was your holy shiftball moment? Good morning, Jake.
Well, my holy shiftball moment this week was my birthday. I turned,
Happy birthday, baby. Happy
yes.
birthday
So
to you.
I
Happy
just,
birthday to you. Do I sound like Marilyn Monroe?
No, that is a hot hell no. No, but you look like her.
Oh, Jesus. No, I do not. But
Yes.
anyways,
So
your
my
birthday.
birthday, I got to spend time. My brother and my sister-in-law called me up and surprised me with a restaurant. They took me out to a restaurant, to my favorite. It was a ramen restaurant, and my brother has always been the type of guy that I've always looked up to my whole life. He is so he's just my hero, and it was so nice just to be able to spend.
It's an emergency alert. I am so sorry. You can't shut those off. I am so sorry. I
Well,
did not
that's
know that was going to
confirmation.
happen.
That's confirmation of how magical my time with my
It's an
brother was.
emergency alert, baby. Yep.
Yes, so we got to spend time, and it was just really, really great to hear everything that's going on in him and my sister-in-law's life, and just to have that one-on-one time for him and I to share. So I just really, it made my whole birthday, and then. Also, Memphis is still has like a quarter inch thick ice. The kids are still out of school. So all of the
Wow. How long has that been now that they're out of school?
we're going on like I guess a week and a half. It's almost been the same amount of time as Christmas holiday. So that's like 2 weeks the kids
So
have been.
that second Christmas.
Yeah.
That's a second coming right there.
Yeah, yes. So, the roads are still, kind of nasty, wonky. And, so yeah, that's my holy ship ball. Nothing big, nothing, dramatical, but it was all
Oh,
about sharing my heart and being around the people that I love the most. So,
oh,
yes,
that's beautiful.
yes. So,
Beautiful.
Sharon, I
Yeah.
have to know, what
Oh,
was your holy
Jesus.
ship ball
Okay. Well,
moment?
mine's a little bit weirder. Yours was about love and beautiful. Mine is about, have you noticed any energy shifts? Like I know you do, I know you would, because you're all about energy, frequency, and vibration. But this planetary roommate drama is driving me bonkers, because one day you're like, woo, life is good, you're on fire, you're getting everything done, and woo, you're knocking it out of the park. The next day, don't talk to me. I'm going to stay in bed. I don't want to see anybody. I don't want to be around anybody. What's happening? And it's
Yeah.
like, I mean, it's not even PMS week, so that's not the problem. The problem is the planetary shuffle. They're all moving around. It's like a freaking universe apartment swap up there. Just figure out where you're going, planets. Get there, stay there, and let us adapt to what's happening. Like there's so much going on. So yeah, my day, my holy ship balls was like, I am affected by
Yeah. Yeah.
the planetary movement, and I didn't think I was. I never was like, whatever, this planet's
Yeah.
doing this, that planet's doing that. Oh hell no. Oh hell no. Because Uranus is finishing its long stay in Taurus, which is my sign. That's why stability is feeling like a prank.
Mm. Mm.
And it is.
Yeah.
the money, the security, the routines and our comfort zones. It's like we're in a snow globe and it's getting shaken up and we can't get our shit together. So
Ron said, "Who's anus?"
Ron. Hey, Danny joined us. Good morning, Danny. Thanks for joining us.
um, awesome.
But hopefully April, this will
Okay.
all calm down because it's leaving Taurus and going into Gemini. And for 7 or 8 years, which is great because now we'll get to communicate, rethink, innovate, and it'll all be about having purpose, which is
Nice.
fantastic. But until then, it's like a freaking snow globe.
Mm,
It's driving me crazy.
I
So
get it.
my holy shift moment was, dang it, those planets
Yes.
do affect us.
Well, get ready because everything's shifting, shaking, rattling, and rolling.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It's just like holy shift balls. What is next? I'm not shocked about anything. It's just like just okay. What's next? Well, speaking of what's next, Sharon, who is on our show today?
Well, speaking of being shifted, we
Yes.
have our guest. His name is Jon Sheldon, and he's been kicked in the balls twice by life, once when leaving the Marines and once when leaving corporate America. And both times brought up the question, what am I actually supposed to be doing here?
Yeah.
Now he helps others answer that question through radical honesty and a refusal to let them stay comfortable. So without further ado, let's bring on Jon Sheldon to the show.
Hey, John.
Hey, what's going on, ladies? This is awesome already.
Well, how are you? What's going on in your world? What has been your holy shift ball moment that has allowed you to absolutely shift everything in your world that has allowed you to do what you do today?
Yeah, can we get are we getting real here at the
Yeah,
moment?
we're getting really
Right,
real.
cool.
Baby.
'Cause I'm gonna throw you guys a curveball, but I promise it's on topic because in the last month
Perfect.
of my life, since we all talked beforehand, I've had
Yeah.
probably the biggest shift in my mentality and in my business than I ever have. So I was looking forward to this because like, oh, this is pretty cool. Now I'm gonna have to leave some details out, but just for
Give
good
us the
stuff.
cliff
If
notes.
you
Give us the
told
cliff
us you'd have
notes.
to kill us, is that how it goes?
No, 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 no. No, so both of those shift moments in my past have absolutely been pivotal in how I think about life. Obviously, big transitions from going from a Marine to the corporate world. There's so many things to unpack there about what Marine Corps life is like versus a civilian versus being this person who, led 13 Marines through over 150 missions in Iraq, and now I'm in a classroom 2 weeks later with a bunch of 18-year-old children, essentially.
Yeah.
Let's call it what it is, right?
Yeah.
And that was definitely a mind shift as well. Going and leaving my corporate world or in the corporate space I was in finance, which I had a 15-year career in, to then go and start my own coaching and consulting business. Again, that was a huge shift. But just recently, I think I had the most interruptive shift in my entire life, and I have no problem being vulnerable with you guys and your audience, is where it shut me down, which does not happen to me ever, right?
No.
Yeah, it had to do with a property that I invested in. It had to do with other relationships that I have in the business world as well. And what came out of it, without going too much into those details with that type of stuff, was this really clear picture of a shift in my mindset of these things exist. I was actually almost getting like sorry for myself. And my wife even called me out. She's like, I don't know who you are right now. Like this is not you. You're sitting on the couch. You're staring at the ceiling. You're being this weird person that I don't know and recognize. And
A
look,
little
I'll
radical
share
honesty, John.
yeah, little radical honesty, right? And that's yeah, right. And not to say that she's not remarkably supportive and all
Oh
that,
yeah.
but she
No, exactly.
definitely called me out and said, "What is going on?" And even my best friend from the Marine Corps, I talked to him about some of this stuff, and he's like, "Dude, what are you doing?" And it was weird. I was literally walking to the parking lot. My favorite hobby in the world I've done since I was 8 years old is snowboarding. I live in upstate New York. We've got a
Okay.
ton of snow here right now. It's been
No.
cold for weeks. And
Ron.
hey, Ron.
This is our producer, Ron, just coming for a visit.
And what was really interesting to me was I was kind of obsessing about these big decisions that I had to make, right? Truthfully, these really large decisions in life and in business that I was making. And I was walking to the parking lot after just kind of clearing my mind a little bit. And I think that's really important to note, like taking a step away, right? For a moment, for a day, in this case, it was for 4 hours. doing the thing that I love, right? Being able to clear my mind. And even when I was snowboarding, I was still stuck in my brain. That's the first time in my life where that hasn't actually taken me immediately away. And I was like, oh man, I'm in danger, right? Like, like what is going on? And for me, the shift was I was walking to the parking lot. And it was these obstacles. I'm a big believer in stoicism. And one of the books that I love by Ryan Holiday is called The Obstacle is the Way. If anybody hasn't read that book, it's amazing. I love it. And one of the thoughts and one of the shifts that I really had was these obstacles now have solidified your path for where you're going because there's no other way to go. There's no business opportunity over here anymore. And the rental property thing for you at this moment in time in this season of your life is dead. And I was focusing in too much for me on trying to make those things work instead of realizing that those paths are now blocked. And the way forward is putting all of my time, energy, and attention into my business, into my family. It's given me a massive respect more for the relationship that I desire to build a deep relationship with my wife. And it's put a lot of things in perspective, both on a personal and professional level. And that was really, I've never been more clear in my life than I am sitting in this chair right now about with the direction I'm trying to go. And I would not have gotten that shift if those bad things didn't happen. That now they are those things are blocked for me now.
What we like to say is, what is right about the situation that I'm not seeing? That's a great way to put it. We ask each other that question all the time. If we were like, oh, this is happening, blah, blah, blah. And we'll say, okay, so what's right about it? What is going right about it? And it's usually the obstacle is the way. And that's a beautiful book. I look forward to reading that. Because it's so true.
Yeah, it just gave me so much direction of the paths are closed, right? Now go win, right? Like go win at the things that you need to pay attention. You need to put time and attention into, like my business, my family, my important friendships that I have, right? And yeah, I just I was excited to talk to you guys. I've never been more clear. Yeah, I'm just still I'm still thriving. And by the way, this big shift moment, since that point in time, which ended, that really shift happened to me 2 Mondays ago.
Okay.
In the next 2 weeks, well, I guess it's 3 weeks, or we're in the week of February. In the next 3 weeks, I've had by far the most profitable month or 3 weeks of my business, and it's not even close.
Wow.
It's not even close.
Love it. Because you're living your purpose, baby.
Yeah. Living my purpose and basically got rid of distractions. And that's the best way I can put it. Right.
What would
I think go ahead, Bethany, please.
How do you quiet the mind? How did you find yourself like allowing your mind to just like take control, or how did you get rid of your distractions to focus on what it is that you were truly hoping to receive?
Yeah, great question. I actually use this one of the things that I was called myself out on was make sure you're practicing what you preach. And I've got a decision framework that I work with a lot of clients on, and it's really simple. There's 6 steps. It's clarity, condition, cost, alignment, action, adaptation. And when so the first 3 are the really important ones. And so Beth, you mind if I call you Beth?
Yeah, you can, but that's
okay. Sorry, Bethany. The most important one for me to answer your question was clarity of getting into spending the time, as I call it, to bathe in my fear, which I did. And I think that like the existential crisis that I was put my brain into was actually really important because it forced me to bathe in all the fears that were coming up for me that I had subconsciously just kind of thrown behind me, right? Let's just move forward. Let's move forward. And then when all of this stuff started coming up, I actually allowed myself to bathe in what I call bathing in your fear.
Yes.
And by doing that, I got really clear. And then I looked at the condition, which is that next step, and said, okay, where am I going? Where am I going with my family and my business, right? Where should I be focused on? Now, what condition am I in? What environment, tools, people? Like, do I have those now? Do I need those? Were those things that I was so obsessed about, were they serving that condition? for my clarity and my purpose, or were they subtracting from it? And in the reality, I had always believed that they were serving. And in a lot of ways they did. In a lot of ways they definitely did. At the time they did. Right? Now I realize, as I moved into this next season of my business and my life, that the condition, they didn't need to be there anymore.
Yeah.
Right? And that gave me more clarity. Right?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Sharon.
So when you say that you had the 2 most profitable weeks in your business and it's really starting to roll, were these clients there all along and you're just utilizing that, or that all of a sudden the floodgates are open because you're focusing somewhere else, which is allowing new opportunities to come in?
The latter. So what was so super surprising to me about that was, before I started my coaching business, I was in sales for, call what it is, like financial advising. You're selling financial services, you're selling yourself, your business, right? When I moved into the director role, I was doing the same thing, but with people underneath me. And what I came to realize was, like, if I put all my focus and attention into this type of thing and went back more to my roots, and honestly, the mental shift, and some people will get this, some people won't, but I literally started preparing my brain for war like I used to.
Okay.
Yes.
And yeah.
That's amazing, because you know what? I just had it just came through, and I was wanting to, how has your military training showed up as an asset in growing your business?
We're hitting it right now. Yep.
Yep.
My brain switched into it, and I'm not afraid to say this. And I got a little angry. I got a little frustrated at myself. Right.
Okay.
And one of the most important things, I'll never forget this. It's actually a pretty sentimental time. On my first deployment, it was pretty rough, early 2000s, 2006. And the stats that we had, I was what's considered a point man. And this goes into our story here in a second, of our final condition was a point man. So I was the first one through the door. I led the patrols, essentially, right? The stats on getting injured or killed at that point in time in the war was higher than 70%. And so I remember on my what's called pre-deployment leave, where you get to go home, right, before you deploy to Iraq. I remember actually having the last thing I ever said to my friend, one of my best friends from high school, was, his name is Jason, and I'll never forget this. We're standing in my driveway. It was cold like this. It was, I think, February, end of February. And I said, hey, Jay, this very well could be the last time we ever talk. And I just want you to know that I love you.
Aww.
And
beautiful.
Right. Thank you, Sharon. And I'm actually getting a little bit emotional now thinking about
That's
those.
okay.
But the last condition, to Bethany's question, the last thing is cost. You were prepared to pay it. And that's the other thing that the Marine Corps taught me too, is be prepared to pay. I joined the Marine Corps after the war had already started. I joined the infantry. I didn't need to, I chose to.
Okay.
And you sign the piece of paper. And while I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I understood what cost I was going to pay, or the ultimate cost that my friends paid, there's no way you could comprehend that at the time, especially being 17 and a half years old. But you do remember that now. And it's like, yeah, I was willing to pay it back then because I was so driven by purpose. And that's where we get to, Bethany, is like, where you can connect to that purpose of your life, then you really can assess paying the cost. And that's where I had this really big breakthrough, was I was willing to accept the cost of, this is what success is going to look like. And my mental shift that I went through, which actually forced me to start calling opportunities that I was delaying doing, or promoting my business in the way that I wanted to, was simply, Jon, go get prepared for war, because you're about to go on another 9-month deployment. And that's the mindset I'm in right now, is that for the next 9 months of my life, there are 2 things that are important to me. Well, 3: my health, and this, we'll do in order: my wife, my health, my business.
The difference between now and then, though, would you say, is that back then you couldn't have comprehended that, like you said, you couldn't comprehend the cost, the ultimate cost. It's easy to sign those papers, or not easy, but I mean, I'm sure you went through a lot of thought. There was a lot of thought process, there was training, and you really thought you were prepared. But now the difference is, you know, the cost, you know what it's going to take, and you know what the cost is.
100% right. And I think that's incredibly valuable. Is you're right. Back then you don't, and they actually make it pretty easy to sign those papers. They want you pretty bad.
70%, 70% failure rate. Like, you know, I don't want to say failure. It's not failure, but 70% casualty rate is, they need some new recruits.
Yeah. And you're right. That is one of the skills that you look back at and you're like, okay, I know how to assess the cost now. Right. I've taken the time. And again, going back to that first step, I bathed in the fear and got clear. Right. That helps you assess that cost that you're going to ultimately have to pay. And man, I'm jacked up. If you guys can tell, I'm talking really fast again.
You're fine.
Oh,
uh-oh.
Now we lost him. He got so jacked up, he messed up his internet connection.
Oh.
Awesome.
You know,
welcome to the wonderful world of live broadcasting. Anything can happen.
Right.
You know, Jon, I've got a great question for you. You know,
okay.
you help leaders build systems, correct, that scale without losing what matters. What do most people get wrong about scaling their businesses?
Yeah, great question. I personally think one of the biggest things they overlook is how important the environment is that they've created. We can transfer that word into culture, community, whatever you want to do it, ecosystem, environment, the word that I use. I think that that's one of the things that people overlook the most when they're trying to scale. And especially when you're growing teams, I don't use the word recruitment. I use the word roster spot. You have only, think of it like a sports team. There's only so many positions. Be very careful with who you allow inside, because the wrong person is poison in the well. One drop destroys the whole batch.
Exactly. I used to be a headhunter, and I placed people, and cultural fit was the most important part. Skills can be taught. That's not a problem. Skills can be taught. If you can put the most skilled person into the wrong cultural environment, it's not going to work for anybody. Not the person being placed there, and not the company as a whole. You can put someone who just, has no skills or very little skills at all into the right cultural fit. Boom, they thrive. The company thrives. I like that. I like that roster spot idea. That's great.
Yeah, and what's interesting too with what you just said is when you look at the statistics on let's just name them A players, so elite performers in businesses. The number one thing that they look for when they're interviewing, like when they're getting headhunted, this is recent data that I looked up. Actually, comes from a guy named Darren Hardy. Is the number one thing that they look for is, are there other A players there? Am I going to be around other people that are going to push me to my best, or am I going to just be the top dog? That's the number one thing that they start considering. Going to Sharon's point is culture. Am I going to be surrounded by other people that are really successful, or am I coming into an absolute dumpster fire?
Right.
I forget who it is. There's a major company, and forgive me because I can't remember who it is, but they fire the lowest 7% of their staff every year. And you sign on knowing that if you
really,
because they want to hire the best of the best. So the bottom, is it maybe 5%? I can't remember how the percentage exactly, but they say, okay, you fell below these lines, we're letting you go, and they hire new people to replace them. And so very culture driven, very purpose driven, very results driven. I mean, it's like Google or somebody. Like, it's a huge major company that let's go with a dead weight. Well, and I shouldn't even say dead weight, because they're hiring top performers. So they would be the upper elite echelon of any other company, and potential to be let go from this one. So I thought that was really interesting, and it speaks to your point of being around the best of the best, so that everybody learns and grows, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, guess what, guys? We have just came to the point where we get to play
our favorite game,
Shit or Shift. Are you ready to play, John? We're going to toss out some scenarios that tell us if it's a shift, if it's expansive. Yes, I'm having it. Give me some more. Or if it's total shit, it's a program. Get it out of here. No way. Cut it out. All right, Sharon, you ready to ask your first question?
Sure. Now, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this right, so please correct me. Does finding your ikigai mean one big revelation, or is it a daily practice of alignment? Shift or shit?
Shift.
Why?
Do you
I
want me to
need to
expand, or
know
am I just
what
saying
in the
shift,
hell
Nope,
shift or
you
shit?
can elaborate
ikigai
on it.
is.
Give it
Oh,
to us.
okay. Yeah. Ikigai is a Japanese word. It's called the reason for being.
Yeah.
It's a way that you find your purpose. So it's really interesting in Japanese culture, at least from what I understand, is like even let's call it a basket maker has this very deep sense of purpose in what he fulfills for the universe, for the world, right? So it's broken down roughly to 4 major categories. What are you good at? What do you like to do? What does the world need? And what can you be paid for? And when you combine all 4 of those things, I believe that the what you can be paid for thing, if I've done my research correctly, is more of a Western additive right there.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. But if you combine those 4 things, that's what ikigai is this reason for being. And I get really connected to that word because it's so, in my opinion, so incredibly important based on even the conversation we just had. So it's
Yeah.
definitely a shift.
Love it.
All right. All right. My question, shoot or shift, John, is leadership about barking orders or about staying calm when everybody else is losing their shit?
The barking orders part is the shit. Right. And the shift would be the last is staying calm under pressure. Right.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things that the movies get the worst wrong. Like, yeah, boot camp can be like that a little bit, a lot of it. Let's call it what it is. But when you get to your unit, and we were in a pretty tough unit, like
Yeah.
you're all going for team success, right? The shitty leaders are the ones that do the leadership style of barking and ordering, and let's call it what it is. Orders are important, right? Especially in that environment. And it's really more of setting expectation and holding people accountable. If you're doing that, there's a lot better ways to do that than yelling or barking or whatever that is. And most of the people, and I'll throw this out there, most of the reason that leaders go default to that is they've never done the work on themselves to understand what type of leader they are. They've read the book, they've watched the podcast, but they've never taken the time to understand what type of leader they want to be. And a lot of times beyond that, they don't understand their people.
Yes.
So they're getting frustrated because they've never taken the time again to understand how their people want to be led and how they can be led. Big shifts there.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. As Ron says, no one really responds to screaming.
No, not really.
No.
Yeah, he's
It's not
right.
really effective means of communication.
No, agreed.
Okay, John, shift or shit?
Okay.
Does being purpose driven keep you grounded, or can it make you blind to feedback?
Ooh, that's a good one. I say grounded. Shift. Yeah.
Why?
Because I think when you're living your authenticity, when you truly start to dive. Oh,
that's okay. She'll come back.
Okay. All right.
It's just the way it is today.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Oh, there we go. Oh, so damn planets. See, I told you at the beginning of the show, the planets are messing everything up. Okay.
They're messing with us.
Yeah.
I think what that really describes is being authentic. I was listening to this social media probably a couple weeks ago. I think his name is Rick Ross. And one of the things was they asked him a question about his social media stuff. He's like, who do you make these for? And he literally says, I make them for myself.
Yeah.
And that spoke to me a little bit. It was like, interesting. He's living, now he's obviously massively successful already, but he's living this purpose-driven, this authenticity about following that purpose at all costs. And this is where we go back to, like, if that doesn't feel right for you and you feel like you're not getting feedback, you might just be surrounded, quite frankly, by the wrong people. Now, not to say that you don't need to have people challenge your ideas. That's incredibly important.
Absolutely.
Incredibly important.
Yes.
Right. But sticking to your purpose and sticking to your guns, I think, is important in life, even if it means failure.
Because you learn the obstacle is the way, right?
Yep. And if you
Yep.
do, and this is what I tell clients all the time, and is every client that comes off of a session with me has to come up with their own action step that's going to push them forward. I can't come up with it.
Oh, I love that.
Well, why? Because if I come up with it for them, what's the easiest excuse in the world to have if they don't want to do it or can't do it? It wasn't my idea anyways.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Brilliant. That is brilliant.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Shit or shift, Jon, is real growth about motivation or about radically honest? About being radically honest.
Tough. These are good. I've shifted my thoughts on motivation. Can I say that?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Say whatever you want.
I used to be disciplined over everything, like shut the F up and just do it. Like that's definitely like that more Marine type of mentality. Like, why do you need so much motivation? And then you think of like, well, why did you join the Marines, dipshit? You were motivated, right? Like,
yep.
And so I've actually gone through a shift in my brain about the word motivation of used to being a hater on motivation and now thinking that it's absolutely a necessity to get started. Right. And I do believe that being radically honest about what actually motivates you is another big shift that people need to take. How many times have I ever gotten on a call with somebody and they refuse, their business owner, their a director, whatever, whoever it is, right? It could, whatever, it doesn't matter. They never bring up that they're money motivated.
Cool.
Then why oh, interesting. Okay, that's really interesting. So would you do this for free?
Yeah.
If you didn't get a paycheck for 6 months, would you do it for free? No. Okay, great. So it's at least a part of it. Be honest with yourself. And that's a piece of this like radical honesty. My business, I am fortunate that my business by definition helps people, right?
Yes.
People pay me to help people. The first word is also incredibly important. People pay me to do that.
Yes.
Right. I can't pay my mortgage without that.
Right.
And not getting radically honest about that. And I know this is just one very small example, but not getting radically honest about that motivator is a shift in my opinion. So not a shift.
Yes.
I think if you asked me this question when we first had our initial conversation, if I was going to be on here or not, and you asked me that, I would have said shit on motivation. I would have. Now in the last 2 months, because I just didn't, I think it was fluffy, kind of horse shit, you know, like, oh, rah stuff, you know? But honestly, you can't get discipline without that initial spark.
Right.
So that's motivation. You can't just, discipline just doesn't fucking fabricate itself out of thin air.
Exactly.
Right? That doesn't, it's not it.
It's not a thing.
Work. It's not a thing. So you need motivation at some stage. Yeah.
Yes. Well, Jon, I am just absolutely, you have blown us away today.
Yes. Love it.
If anyone in our audience would love to connect with you, to talk with you, to book a call with you, how would somebody get a hold of you?
To have some of your radical honesty.
Yes. To get some of that.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
And I'm being super radically honest lately, ladies. So yeah, prepare yourself. No, but so my business name is kind of weirdly spelled. It's, you can look it up, the Battle of Bellawood, if you'd want, but it's, you can reach out to me. It's on the screen right now, but easiest way would be either check out my website. My Instagram is also got a lot of videos there. DMs are great. Website is www.belleawood.coach, not com, .coach. And no, it's okay. And my Instagram is Bellawood, so BELLEAUWOOD_coaching. DM me on there. Get on my contact form on my website. Hit me up there. Any way you cut it, I'll definitely respond. And if anybody wants some time on my calendar, 100% open to that.
And just to add one more thing, Jon, I think what's really intriguing about you is that you hold yourself to the highest accountability as that you hold your clients to.
I try.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sharon. Yeah, I try.
So he has radical honesty. Jon has radical honesty with himself, not only with the people that he's coaching, which is wonderful. That's the way it should be.
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate it. I've got this, you can't really see it. It's a very small, it's actually Morse code. You care if I tell you what it is? It actually means lots.
We would love to.
I call it the Bellawood Creed. okay, which is my business creed. And it states, because I said I would, I faced my obstacles. They became the way. I learned my enemy. It was me. I learned that I realized that I must die. And so I lived.
Yes.
That's the Bellawood Creed. And that's what I'll leave with you guys with today.
Love
That
it.
is
That is
that just made
beautiful.
my heart just
Thank you.
sing. Well, Jon, thank you so much from both of Sharon and I's heart to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for the time and having me on. This has been awesome.
Yes, thank you.
Bye, Jon.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Wow.
Wow, Sharon.
That was eye-opening. That was. But Jon is so authentic, and that's one of his draws. That's one of the reasons why people are attracted to doing, having him be their coach, is because yes, he's a hard ass, but he's an authentic hard ass.
But when you get in his field, in his field, you feel that sense of just, okay, compassion of being just a, I don't even have words for it, because he has a presence about him that made and allowed me to kind of just like feel seen and comfortable with him. So I truly enjoyed that, for sure.
So yes,
Great.
agreed.
Well, Sharon, sweetheart, who do we have on the show for next week?
Next week we have Lena Zaffary, a transformational speaker. She needs to teach me how to speak. An intuitive guide whose near-death experience cracked her reality wide open. So get ready for real talk on frequency, consciousness, and what happens when life forces the ultimate holy shift moment.
Well, girl,
it'd be really cool.
Well, I am looking forward to it. Well, Sharon, guess what?
What?
Remember, when life kicks you in the balls, be sure to tune in to your Holy Shiftball podcast,
where we help you turn that. Oh, first I got to learn how to talk. Where we help you turn that shit into a shift.
All right. See you next Thursday. Thanks so much.
See you next Thursday. Bye.
Bye-bye.